6 p.m.
6 p.m. Good evening and welcome to the May 12th, 2026 meeting of the Leominster Conservation Commission. The public is encouraged to follow along using the posted agenda. My name is Jesse Averka. I am the conservation agent for the city of Leominster. At this time, please silence your devices and allow me to confirm which members are present. Nick Venti, Steph Quinlan,
Here.
Rich Golick,
Here.
Chuck Raymond,
Here.
and Jordan Bashan.
Here.
Okay, I will let you take it away, Steph. We did, so the first notice of intent, Chris requested a continuance because we're still waiting for DEP number for those Pleasant Street apartments. So that will be taken up on May 26th. I can't remember, did we say, are we doing motions for continuances? Did we say that we're trying to stay consistent with that?
I don't think we need to, do we?
I don't think we need to either. Okay. All right, that's when it will be held on May 26th.
Cool.
So that everyone knows.
Okay, then,
Because when we continue it, we should word it that we're doing it to the next meeting that, that comes up, the number.
Sure,
As
yeah.
opposed to a date, in which case,
Yes.
then we might.
Yeah, I agree, because when people request a continuance to like a couple months out or whatever, then it makes sense to have a motion, like if you guys are accepting that. You know what I mean?
Okay,
yeah,
so we're good.
Yeah, I agree.
okay, moving right along, in continued hearings, request for determination of applicability filed by Rob Murphy for the installation of EV charging stations and relevant infrastructure at 162 Hamilton Street.
So I know no one's going to be here to present on this one. I'll go over that one, but I want to check since there are people waiting. Are you guys here for the stagecoach filing, or what are you guys here for?
The Harvard Street,
Stagecoach.
huh? Stagecoach.
yeah.
Stagecoach Road.
Is anyone here to present for the 43 Stagecoach Road filing?
So Wes from McCarty is supposed to be here.
Okay. Yeah, I assumed that McCarty would, I didn't hear from any of those guys, but I figured they would be sending someone. I guess that we can do the Hamilton one in the meantime, and if someone gets here, then, we'll take that one up. I just don't want to keep you guys waiting if, I know no one's here for the Hamilton one, so. Okay. So we continued this at the last meeting because I wanted to double check with DEP on what their take was so this is installing 6 EV charging spots and a big, concrete slab for all of the electric infrastructure the grid needs to run it. Pull up the plan.
Just a refresh on memory, the spot where these are going, or proposed to go, is already paved anyway, correct?
Other than this pad down here.
Other than that,
With the
okay.
transformer, yes.
Okay.
So this new pad is 23 by 23 feet, and I'll pull up the diagram in a second.
Okay.
Actually, I'll just pull that up right now. It's only essentially 4 inches on top of existing grade. And just to refresh everyone's mind, the reason I'm the one presenting on it is this is an applicant from New York, and we only, do everything in person, so. He is available for a phone call if anyone has questions, though. I think I have a pretty good understanding of this. Yeah, so if you look at the specs here, this is, 4 inches up from, the stand that it's going beyond, and then it's just ground beneath that. There are conduits that are going deeper than that, which go.
So is that thing you just pointing to, was that 23 by 23 pad?
Yes.
Okay,
This is the pad right here.
okay.
Yeah. Well, this would be the whole pad, and then this is just a look at the actual conduits.
Got
So
it.
like conduits here, conduits there. That's how that kind of matches up. So yeah, it's just a concrete slab on the ground and then conduits which connect to this existing pole. Everything up here is already paved. The only change is that pad going in, which as I said is 23 by 23.
Yeah,
4
is that
inches.
the scale?
This is just a rough drawing that grid sends out to everyone who wants to do one of these, and then says, go take care of the permitting and compliance and everything. They don't get more involved with that unless it's their actual, right
Yeah,
of
'cause
ways
that
or
yellow
something
block
like that.
is not square.
Yeah,
No.
and it's not 23 feet in either direction, so it's a little misleading to look at it.
Yeah, well, that's why I had reached out to Rob and asked, like, what are the actual dimensions on this thing?
Yeah,
So what's the
can we get a better figure?
protected resource?
So the only reason that they had to come to us is because this is in FEMA floodplain, meaning that it is bordering land subject to flooding.
Wrong number.
1662. I don't even think that exists. Yeah, so it's nowhere near any, well, it's fairly close to the river here, but it's over 200 feet away.
Right.
But everything out there is in floodway. So because of that, it counts as bordering land subject to flooding. I checked with Mass DEP, they said if the commission finds that it's a, minimal project and a minimal amount of flood storage is lost, then it's acceptable to issue a -2 determination on it. I think that it is minimal. I went and took some pictures today, so you can kind of see actually where the pad is going.
Do you know what the elevation is for bordering land subject to flooding at that location?
No, I'm not sure, I didn't check that.
Where are we relative to that? Are we at the high end of bordering land subject to flooding or the lower end? The lower end.
I would think we're on the lower end, just from looking at the map and where we are. Yeah, I guess you're in the 1%, so you're in the lower elevation, obviously. But I guess, so these are the pictures that I took off of the parking lot. It's like this retaining wall, and then it's maybe a 3 or 4 foot drop down at the bottom here. And
So go ahead.
no, it's okay. So, I guess if you can envision just, a pad here that's about 23 by 23, 4 inches out of the ground. That's, like, the right way to, I think, and visualize this is all you're considering is flood storage. So now you have a pad there that is removing the open space.
400 something square feet of turf.
Yeah, exactly.
And it sits at that elevation, not the same elevation as the parking lot above. It sits 4 inches above that present elevation.
Yes.
So the theory here being that, okay, so you've got this 23 or 23 foot area that's currently turf/bare ground. Will be replaced by a 23 by 23 concrete pad. So that water that otherwise would have been sitting on the ground now has to go someplace else.
Yes,
Could impact.
that's
something.
exactly what the
That's it,
question is.
okay.
I guess my thoughts are that in this location, you're still gonna have infiltration like all around the pad. They're not gonna put the pad snug up to the wall.
And then, so it's gonna drain into that green area.
That's my thinking.
Once it's saturated, it makes no difference.
Yeah, that's also true.
Once
But that's true whether the pad's there or not.
Exactly.
Yeah. So yeah, I guess,
And probably negligible for
With-
flood storage purposes.
I
That's
don't
kinda-
see any objection to this.
Yeah.
I didn't do it myself.
No.
Yeah.
okay. That's all that, if there are no further questions, I'm good. Unless there are any comments from the audience on this one.
Do you have any strong feelings about this?
I'm in favor.
Cool. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Okay, so, do we need to vote on this one?
Yeah, well, we can take a motion to close the
Public
public
portion.
portion, yeah.
All right, I will entertain a motion to close the public portion of this hearing.
So moved.
Thank you,
I'll second the motion.
thank you.
Okay. How do you vote on that, Nick?
What's your recommendation here? Or to close the public? Yeah.
Yes,
I'll-
exactly.
I'll vote to close it, sure. Aye.
Steph,
Aye.
Rich,
Aye.
Chuck,
Aye.
and Jordan.
Aye.
Perfect.
All right, and then I think we're all on the same page here, but for clarity, what is? the
Yeah, let me read
recommendation?
out what the -2 actually is, 'cause it's always a good idea. So, -2 is the work described in the request is within an area subject to jurisdiction under the act, but will not remove, fill, dredge, or alter that area. Therefore, said work does not require the filing of a notice of intent.
Read that again? Well,
Yes.
but it will not,
Will not remove, fill, dredge, or alter that area.
well, it will.
Yeah, I guess you are, you are right about that.
I mean, objectively, it will.
Question was, it should be no substantial impact.
Right.
Yeah.
What's number 3 say?
It's our jurisdiction.
Yeah.
Remove fill dredge, or which area, the resource area, or the?
I mean, it is altering it, like the building.
Yeah, it objectively is. What's
Yeah.
number 3 say?
Number 3 is the work described in the request is within the buffer zone as defined in the regulations, but will not alter an area subject to jurisdiction under the act.
No, it's not in the buffer zone area either.
Yeah, and that one also says will not alter,
Yeah, and given the lack of wetlands involved here.
certainly not in the
Well,
buffer.
river, it's an awkward one,
Yeah,
because that wording doesn't seem intended for that case.
So maybe we say we vote for whichever one of those, with the understanding that there will be minimal, if any, impact to the,
yeah, I mean, I could
First
do,
order.
like, we could vote for a -2 with the, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, realization that that it is a minor
I'd say,
alteration.
de minimis.
Well,
De minimis.
all sorts of them have done something, we just say it's no big impact.
Yes,
Like we
yeah.
took out a tree, and we did -2s for most of those.
Yeah.
What's the -1?
-1 is just, it's not in an area subject to jurisdiction under the act.
No, it is.
So they all kind of,
All right, -2 makes the most sense.
Yeah.
All right, in that case, I will entertain a motion to grant a -2 determination as it applies to this situation.
Yeah, and we find that there's, what, you want to use the term de minimis impact?
sure, I like that.
To the,
Yeah. You can write that in, you can write it in.
yeah,
So moved because we find de minimis impact.
there you go.
Thank you.
I like that.
I'll second that.
I like it a lot. All right, Rich and Chuck, how do you vote on that? Steph,
Aye.
Nick, Rich,
Aye.
Chuck,
Aye.
and Jordan.
Aye.
All right.
All right, moving into new hearings, we have a notice of intent filed by Eric Lynn for the proposed construction of a single-family home and associated site improvements at 43 Stagecoach
Yeah, there
Road.
you go.
Good evening.
Can you please
Well-
introduce yourself?
Wesley Cliss, McCarty Engineering.
Can you say that again?
Thank you.
Wesley Cliss, McCarty Engineering.
You?
Just for future, I can send you PDFs. that
Yeah.
You can put, perfect.
Perfect, yeah, you don't need to, I mean, you got it for tonight, which is great.
Wesley, did you hand color these?
Yeah, real quick.
Wow.
Well, no, just this one, it's scanned it in, make copies for you.
Oh, all right.
That's
Nothing
appreciated.
nothing, too fancy, but just
All right.
enough to differentiate, because it is a very busy plan.
Sure.
Yeah, I was actually gonna say something to this, I found this to be minimally useful.
No, that's why I tried, and for the future, I'll make sure I send the PDF with a little more color to the,
Thank you.
we can put it up on the screen. Yeah, it's been a couple of years since I've been in front of you, so the last couple of times we've had the board, right, and I put the board up on the,
Yeah, sure,
before, I know Jesse took over, so.
fair enough.
Again, we're here this evening on behalf of Mr. Lynn for his project at 43 Stagecoach Road. We filed a notice of intent for work within the 100-foot buffer zone, but also for some wetland filling. The intent of the application is for the construction of a single-family house. Again, like I stated, it's at 43 Stagecoach Road. You have seen the two adjacent lots to the east under Mr. Lynn's ownership in the past, over the last couple of years. And this is the last lot that he owns on this larger piece of property that he had subdivided a couple of years ago now. The proposal in front of you is for the filling of 2,725 square feet of wetland filling. The wetlands are shown kind of in that orangey brown color. There's a long stretch of wetlands that runs from the north to the south, where the tip of the wetlands is where we're proposing to fill the wetlands.
Jesse, would you mind pointing on the screen for
Yeah, sure.
watching?
Yeah, you can do that.
And so where the tip of the wetlands that are being filled is where
Right
the
up here.
house and the grading is there. And so the proposal, like I said, is to fill that small tip of wetlands there. Initially, when we had looked at these three lots, the initial thought was to put the house up further into the rear of the site where the lot gets wider. But as this property had been developed and some conversations had been with some city officials, It was thought that we were better off putting the development where we're showing it on the plan now as close as we could to Stagecoach Road instead of putting it further back into the site where we initially had thought back into really where it comes to the wider part of the lot. The reason being is because of lot width. To meet the city's requirement for lot width, we had initially thought we'd put the house out back where we'd be able to meet the city's requirement for lot width. Instead, what we're doing right now is we're going in front of the ZBA for a variance from the lot width requirement so that we can push this house further up, closer to the street, actually limits the wetland filling to what we're showing now. If we were to put the house further back, we'd be closer to 4,000 to 5,000 square feet of wetland filling, create a longer driveway. And so we thought the proposal that's in front of you this evening was less of an impact. I know there's still wetland filling due to this proposal, but we thought this would be less impactful to the wetlands in the overall scheme of the site. We do show 2,775 square feet of wetland replication. That wetland replication is proposed on the two adjacent parcels. Those two parcels have been constructed on and are being finished up for their construction. It'd be easier for us to access those wetlands in that location instead of trying to access the wetlands in the back of the site that we're actually doing the filling on. Still the same wetland system. but
Sorry,
we-
quick question.
Sure,
You're
go ahead.
saying that things that are actively being worked on,
So we,
the proposed single-family
so
dwelling?
we need to close the two existing order of conditions out on the two adjacent parcels.
Okay, but
that used to-
this exists?
Yep,
Okay.
that house is in and the house to the left of that's in.
It says proposed on your map here.
Oh, I apologize,
So I was kind of confused.
Yeah, I wondered too.
I'll make sure that we can,
I know.
we will cross that off. I did not even notice that, thanks for pointing that out, I'll make sure that we get that corrected for you. And so that house is there, the house to the left is there, but as part of the construction of those sites, now the wetlands in the back of those two properties are easier to get to do the replication to those wetlands in those locations. So that's why we're proposing the wetland replication in that area instead of doing it on the actual lot that we're doing the filling on. To get to the back of the site, we'd have to actually disturb more of the wooded area on this site. And so we thought it'd be better off to replicate what we're showing there. And so as part of the notice of intent in front of you, we did include the owners also of those properties on there. One being the same owner as this lot, 43 State Coast, which is their land. But we also included the owner of the other lot also there, just to make sure that they're also part of this application that's in front of this evening. Again, by keeping the house as close as we could to the street, we're minimizing the driveway length. We're just showing a smaller driveway accessing a front garage into the house, small deck off the back of the house, a little bit of a backyard area, and then a 3-to-1 slope to the back into the wetlands. Again, trying to minimize as much disturbance we can to the front of that lot and then leaving the rest of the lot in its natural state and really making the footprint of disturbance as minimal as we could. We do show erosion control barriers on the extent of the grading in the back of the property. And we do show erosion control barriers around the replication area also. As part of the plan that you have in front of you that we submitted, we also did make sure that we provided the details for the wetland filling and the two areas for the two different details for the replication. One being some spot grading with replication so that you could see that we're making sure that there's enough hydraulic connection between the existing wetlands and the proposed wetlands. And then also we do show the wetland replication planting schedule to make sure there's enough detail for the replication also there. Again, other than the wetland filling, this is fairly standard for a single-family house. We're trying to limit the disturbance as much as we could on this property, keeping everything. It's a 1.6 acre parcel, and like I said, we're disturbing a very small percentage of that 1.6 acre parcel of land. So I can take any questions from the commission members at this point if you'd like, or Jesse, if you have any questions. I know, I think we're still waiting I checked this morning, we're still waiting for DEP number. I know they've been about a month or sometimes even a little longer lately. It's been kind of.
Yeah, hopefully by the next meeting.
And that's what we were thinking too, but I know we're scheduled to get in front of the ZBA, I believe, Eric, do you remember?
June 1st, I
June
believe.
1st, okay. So we're supposed to get in front of the ZBA for the variance for the lot width, because where the house sits now, we don't have the required lot width. We could if we put the house in the rear of the site, but after talking with the bill inspector and a couple other city officials, they recommended that we do this instead.
Sure.
Why? What was the reason?
They think this is a better option from the standpoint of disturbance of the entire property. Because if we had to bring the driveway, and I think it's what, 500 feet or so back to the
Mhm.
area that we wouldn't need the variance for the lot width, then we're talking about a longer driveway, water disturbance in the woods, and then more wetland filling.
Water,
And-
sewer.
Well, we do have water and sewer out here, yes, but the services would have to be longer, yeah, and so there's just, it's a greater impact to the overall piece of property, right, so, that was the thought behind moving this closer to the street there, and just having it tucked up into the street. It all depends on who you talk to, right, I think is,
Yeah, that's fair enough.
right, so.
I mean, either way, if you're what we're evaluating, that makes things simpler on our end, with less replication is, ideal.
And that's what, yeah, I guess that we would get to, right, yeah.
The only thing that I'm wondering is, so like with the other homes that were built, and granted I wasn't here, was this delineation all submitted and accepted like as one for all of the parcels?
Yes, I believe, right, so you filed for your house first, Eric, right, was that what the,
We ended up putting two of them
on the same
on
notice?
the same notice.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I wasn't involved with that.
That's what I would imagine happened. I can always look back at the.
Yeah. So the intent is, once the replication is done out here,
Mhm.
and then, then we would file for certificate of compliances for all three lots at the
Oh,
same time,
sure,
right?
okay, that makes sense. Yeah, it's funny, I was actually out here the other, I met with, I'm assuming is it the Powarski family that has the one that's tucked back, like kind of a long driveway?
Yeah, that's the next to,
Yes.
yes, I
It doesn't really
did.
make it, it's just funny, I met with them the other day, because they have to redo their sewer, and they were wondering if they were too close to the wetlands, so I was out there, and I saw you find like a week later, small world.
So how many lots are in the subdivision
3,
total?
yes,
Okay.
yes.
And can you talk a little bit about the drainage that's coming off the house?
So you're just looking at gutters, right, and then gutters out to the back of the
Yep.
site at this point, yes.
Gutters out to the back?
To the rear, yes, yeah.
Okay. Something about it?
So under the Wetlands Protection Act, section 10.53, there's a 10.53 lists a number of scenarios that would allow a body such as this to permit the filling of a wetland and replication.
Yep.
But I don't see, it's like, I don't know, 15, 20 scenarios. But construction of housing isn't explicitly listed. Construction of a driveway for a house on an upland in the rear of the lot is explicitly listed. So as I understand the Wetland Protection Act, we have greater authority to permit something like that than we would this. But I'd like to see strong, more confident legal interpretation that this sort of.
I guess from that standpoint, I'd like to see what DEP's comments are too.
Sure, yeah.
And so, and the reason I say it is,
Yeah.
I've been doing this for a while now, so, right, you guys have the discretion, usually, the commission usually comes back with, the commission has the discretion to approve up to 5,000 square feet of wetland disturbance, right?
For certain purposes.
For
yeah.
certain purposes, correct. And so, we're looking at, I think it's 5 acres, was it 4 acres total, Erica, right? It was 4 acres?
Borderline 5 acres.
5 acres of land total that they had originally. And so to disturb less than 3,000 square feet of wetlands, I know it's not ideal, but it's not unheard of to allow the 3,000 square feet of wetland disturbance.
I understand your argument that it'd be more disruptive to site the house in the rear of the property and have a long driveway. But, I mean, we're tasked to evaluate specific scenarios under that Wetland Protection Act law.
And so I've seen it both ways. I've seen it
Yeah.
where we've had to do the driveways, and I've seen it where they've allowed the houses to fill the wetlands, to construct a wetland
Yeah.
in this type of location. So it all depends on, like I said, we'll see what DEP comes back with comments too, because they may agree with your interpretation of it too. I know depending on what agent we talk to, sometimes we get into different interpretation also from DEP, so.
It's just that I don't see a specific exception for this sort of use.
Yeah, no, that's fair.
Tell me about your wetland replication, is it 1-to-1?
So we're just over 1-to-1. We have 50 square feet more of replication.
Okay,
So it's over 1.
basically 1-to-1.
Yeah, so 2725 to 2775.
Is this, the grade here, is this coming down from the road to the house and then continuing to go down back?
Should be coming over So we are, so no, the front of the site comes out to, kind of toward the street. At least a little bit of the driveway does. Yes.
Yeah.
So we're looking at garage at 491, street elevations at 489.5. So there's a slope of the driveway comes back out to the street. So the house will kind of, the way we have it set up, the house kind of creates a high point there, a plateau. But the, the intent is the house would have a, typical house is, would have the gutter system to them.
And then goes down to the back.
Those are proposed grading around the house there.
The darker lines are, yeah, so the 490, I know it's tougher to see on that. And I grabbed the same thing, right?
487.
I mean,
Yeah, I think I was looking at the old ones.
See the 490 here? That's proposed grade, existing grade is 485, so we're gonna build this up.
Right, I mean, obviously this is a
I was
wetland
at
here,
491,
it's
and
a
really on my where it says it's slowed down.
Yeah.
487.
Right, but-
So
but all this, like all this would be filled.
Correct, all that, yes.
Bring it off.
Yes.
Can we, Jeff, so can we kind of have one conversation at once, and we had two areas.
So, speaking of fill material, are you gonna have to be importing material?
Yes.
Do you know how much you're gonna have to
I
import?
don't off the top of my head, don't know how much of the material we have to for. I can ask it, we can take a look at that.
Speaking on a personal basis here, I'm pretty skeptical. We've had cases in front of us that we voted against because most of the development, most of the house was within the buffer zone. This house is in the wetland. So just without going into too much detail yet, I'd be interested to see what the DEP says, but I appreciated what Nick said about 10.53. I'm inclined to vote against this the way it sits right now. The way it's described now, house is literally in the wetland, not in the buffer. So that's my opinion. I tried to mention it.
I'd want to see the wetland and get
Yeah,
a personal impression of the importance before I deny somebody their development rights. I would like a site visit.
Look at that.
I think that's a good idea.
Fair.
No, and that's, I expected obviously continuance tonight.
Yeah.
I thought, obviously we need to get a file number from DEP and comments from DEP.
We gotta hear what other people have to say
Yeah,
also. So
let the
I have
residents,
no
yeah.
position until I hear what.
And I know typically your procedure used to be to do a site walk in between the first
Yes.
meeting and second hearing.
Yeah,
So we can definitely set something up and we
That's
can have our
standard.
wetland scientists meet you out there too, to make sure that you guys are.
Yeah, that would be very helpful to have them there,
Yeah.
certainly.
You know Mary DePinto is one of the.
Yes, yeah, I know Marion.
Yeah, so we'll get her out there.
Yep. She has a ridiculous amount of experience. That's how I would put it. She's been doing this a very long time, very highly qualified. I guess, we can take comments from it. I'm sorry.
I'm all set.
Sorry, I do have one more question.
Sure.
It looks like, so is there a drainage easement that
So
is
the-
in this lot?
Yeah, so I apologize, I did not check. So the city has a drainage easement on this property. Their pipe does not go within the easement, though. We've talked to John Roseberry about this already. And so he is inclined to have the easement moved to follow the new line that will go through this. And so there's two catch basins there, right in front of the house. Those catch basins just discharge onto this property and help feed this wetlands. And so what we're proposing to do is drop in a new drain manhole to get the line around where the house is going to go and then discharge the drainage on the backside of that slope. And so we have had conversation with John Roseberry with the DPW about that drain line, about moving that around the house, and he is willing to work with us to move that easement and that drain line. And so when this is all done, they will have a new easement and a new drain line from this property.
To that point, when was that road drainage installed and?
I don't have the date. on
Wetland
that.
I do have a date on that, actually. It was 1963 when they put that in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay. So then,
Been feeding it for a long time.
Because you don't just discharge into somebody's property, right?
Right.
Stormwater, you don't just
Right.
catch it and throw it
Yeah.
in somebody's property. Today-
Yes,
Today, you don't do that.
no.
Yes.
Right,
And,
so-
yeah, back then.
yeah. And the growth of that wetland, has that occurred gradually since then?
So again,
You don't know.
right. I can only say that having those two catch basins and the water discharge taking place certainly contributes to that.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, I saw the wetland as mapped, and it was smaller. So suggesting that historically, perhaps it was, you know, not so extensive, it didn't extend so far to the, I guess this is north, actually, even though it's,
Yes.
yeah, north
Yep.
is down.
Yeah, again, the front of the property
Yeah.
is where the basins discharge. So when you get the big rains,
Yeah.
that's where most of the water would collect. And then
Yeah.
I would say the more stationary water is definitely in the back part.
Nick, are you implying that changing the drainage pattern might have a negative impact on the health of the rest of the wetland?
No, I'm suggesting that the, you know, to, following up on the point in the NOI that the wetland appears in this location due directly to the
Discharge point of the-
discharge, yeah,
of
from the
drainage
street.
system.
So I'm sort of probing the sensitivity of that, like, how sensitive is the wetland to the drainage versus its natural appearance?
And the drainage is gonna jump back out into that wetland system afterwards. We're not redirecting it to a different wetland. We're gonna still feed that same wetland system with the drainage. It's just a matter of throwing another drain manhole in and a couple of lengths of pipe to get around the house.
But to your point, Stephanie, I think that, you know, one thing to consider here is that you then have drainage discharge directly into the wetland, and that's an issue.
That's how it is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's the same.
That's how it works now for the city. I mean, unless the city's gonna come in and do improvements to their drainage system, we're not
I don't see that.
doing it for them.
You don't want the water to not go to the wetland.
Yeah.
We have this dilemma, do we want to
Yeah,
allow more water,
Yeah.
or, you know?
well, ideally,
There's less water.
yeah, that's why I like the Fallbrook project is so good, because you still have water getting where it's meant to be, but it's getting treated, but that's kind of like where you have the opportunity to make things better, you take
But
advantage.
this
Yeah.
water's going downhill in the wetland.
Yeah.
But I guess initially it wouldn't have been that way. I mean, so initially,
Well,
in the 60s, we would have had the drainage discharge to this site and the wetland much farther back in the wood.
are you saying it's gradually crept up?
Now the wetlands crept up to that street discharge, and maybe that's due to, you know, increased development or whatever, right? Like, so
The
I-
drainage area mostly, right?
Yeah,
Well, not knowing, yeah, without getting too far into the history of what happened
Yeah.
beforehand on this property, right? And my guess is like a lot of the land up around here, is probably all farmland before a lot of this development happened, right? So,
Yeah.
All right, well, any other,
Just like a procedural question, the replication would be on the two,
Whoopsie.
I'll go grab some.
thank you.
Yeah.
on the two adjacent parcels?
yes.
And those both have open orders of conditions still,
So it's all part of, yes, one open order of conditions, yes.
for all three parcels, or?
The
for
two
those
parcels.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. And so when this is all said and done, and this, if this were to get approved, the wetland replication were to happen, then we would come back in front of you to close out both orders.
Okay, so
Right,
for
yes.
the two parcels and the one parcel?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Yep. And we would provide that as-built plan to you at that point, right?
When were the other, orders issued?
Oh, God. I remember those. Those were at least 2 years ago.
Yeah, at least 2
If not
years.
three,
Probably
maybe.
Dude, quick recovery there, though.
Yeah, almost quick enough.
Yeah,
All right, there we go, it'll dry.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jesse.
Yeah.
Did you say at least 2 years
At
ago?
least 2, if not 3 years,
Oh,
yeah.
is it when I was absent?
I don't remember the exact timing, but I was chair, so.
Yeah.
When the orders for the other ones?
23,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it was either 2023 or 2024, I think.
yeah.
I don't know if you guys have a better memory of that. 23.
I just know Nicholas Kemp was, I think, was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think you're right.
Yeah, it was after Angela and before you, so.
Yeah, I mean, I can,
So we got the idea of one thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
good enough.
Okay, cool.
Okay, any other questions or comments from the commission at this time?
Excuse me, do you take questions?
I'm just about to.
Okay.
Mhm.
Oh,
I promise
You're
you
up, you're up.
next.
We appreciate your patience.
All right, and any questions or comments from the public on this project?
uh,
Please
One-
state your name and address for the record.
one comment I would like to make. If you
Sure,
approve
name and
this,
address for it.
Claude Chapdelaine, 32 Scenic Drive.
Thank you.
I live adjacent to the wetland, behind where he is.
You're on
And
scenic, oh, I got you, okay.
if they approve this project, where he wants to put the house is the best place, because that wetland is always wet. And in the spring, when it rains, there's a lake. Now, one commissioner, and I don't remember who it is, but I don't recognize him, told me
No, he's not here.
the week before, he took a walk and walked the entire piece of land, because it goes right behind my house, completely. And he said he didn't see any water. Well, the guy must have been blind, first of all. I don't want to be too derogatory. But there was water, a lot of water, because in the spring, during the summer, the land is marshy, but there isn't any water. It doesn't rain much. If we get a lot of rain, you get that much water in the back of my house. It doesn't come up on my property because my property is somewhat higher, but the back is completely wet. If they want to put a house there and you approve this, where he wants to put it is the best place, in my opinion, because I've walked that and I've looked at it, I've been there for 55 years. I know it goes on. Where they're going to put the house, is that where the gully is?
I'm not sure what you refer to the gully.
I would say yes, if that's, if that.
Well, this gully is about 30 to 40 feet deep, and that's where all the rainwater goes. They want to put the house on top of it. Now they want to put drainage out there, to add more water to the little lake that we have in the spring and the back. Has anybody here seen that piece of land?
I drive by it a lot, I haven't walked it.
Have you seen the gully? It
I
comes
have
right
not.
up to the road.
I have not.
It comes
Yeah.
right up the road. You go there, it's a huge gully. If they're gonna fill that, I don't know how many hundreds of yards, maybe thousands of yards of sand they're gonna need to fill that if they're gonna bring that house level with the current house off to the left. The guy on the right, Mr. Hazard's house, as soon as he found out they were looking at this, he put his house up for sale. Because if they go higher than his property, which is somewhat downland, and it's right next door, if we get a real thunderstorm, the same thing that happened on Pleasant Street in Leominster is gonna happen to that guy's house. So you'd better all look at that piece of land, because this is a huge change to that piece of land. Huge. Now, we went through this last year, I was here last year, and some of you were here, you probably remember, because I made us think about what they were doing already without any permits. That's the kind of people we're dealing with. They started building house without the house permit. They never came before you until somebody reported them, I guess, when the house was half built, then he came in for all of these changes on this fill that they had to put there.
That, okay, so that note is heard, and we've heard the note about how much fill we think might be required, you know, an estimation from your opinion. As far as drainage goes, they are not allowed to change drainage to drain onto other people's property. So that's something that will definitely come up in, you know, our reviewing DEP's comments, that would be addressed. I mean, as far as specific concerns go, it sounds like you're saying that this is the best location for this,
Yes, it is.
but there are no good locations.
Well, I would doubt it, but
Yeah, so sort of saying those two things simultaneously, right?
okay, I'm just letting you know.
No, I'm
Yeah, fair enough.
Because
I'm hearing you.
if
I
I
just
ever
wanna make
get
sure
water
that
from
I'm-
this, there's gonna be a huge problem. A huge problem. For everybody involved, because I've already spoken to an attorney. I mean, I'm not threatening you.
It kinda
I
sounds
just-
like it.
No, please
That's
don't take
exactly
it
the way I
down,
took
because
it.
I just want, if you're gonna approve this, I wanna make sure it's done right, because this whole fiasco of these two houses that are already there, built by the same gentleman, it was a whole fiasco. He was supposed to do a lot of things, he was supposed to fill in, plant some new trees, wasn't supposed to cut any more trees down. Well, I've been hearing chainsaws for the past 3 months, cutting down stuff. I don't know what he's cutting down, because I didn't go look.
Might want to check
But
your
it
neighbor.
just,
Yeah.
but this is gonna be a,
One at a time.
it's gonna be a fiasco if something goes wrong. If it
Okay.
if they put a house up and it goes fine, there's no problem. But if there's a problem, I'm gonna have a problem. The people downgrade because the water goes downgrade, and there's houses right back there where the wetlands ends. There's an underground stream on that property. Where that gully is, I think the water goes down in that gully and it gets to the stream, and underground it goes, because
All right.
further
We will-
down Scenic Drive,
Keep this in mind when we go to do the site visit.
Yeah.
Because those are many valid concerns.
okay, I just wanted to make sure that, because they approved everything that he done before, which I disapprove of, but that's neither here nor there, but if this doesn't go right, because I'm looking at that gully, I said, if that's collecting water from the street and everything like that, and they're filling it, where's the water going?
Well,
It's
it
gonna
sounds
go-
like they're gonna reroute the drainage to go in the same space, just a little bit further.
Yeah, it sounds like you're suggesting this is an ephemeral stream for practical purposes.
Pardon?
It sounds like you're suggesting that this road drainage
Yeah.
in the location is acting as an ephemeral stream for practical purposes to
Well,
feed the wetland. And that may be,
Define that.
an ephemeral stream would be one that appears sometimes and
Yeah,
is not there all the time. But you're suggesting it's eroded a pronounced gully. So, I mean, if it's acting as an ephemeral stream, that's something we'd have to consider as well.
Yeah, I think we've all heard and we're taking your comments very seriously, but at the end of the day, we're gonna need to go look at the site
Yeah,
to
we'll see
evaluate
it.
all these things.
that's
So
the best thing to
I
do.
think the best course of action
And
is
whatever you
plan a site.
decide,
Yeah.
whatever you decide from that, I'm hoping that you make the right decision as to how, if it's gonna go forward, how it has to go forward. I don't have anything against a guy building a house on a piece of land that he owns. But in this instance, this has gone lousy from last year.
What was your address again?
32 Scenic Drive.
Chapter Lane.
I'm the third house in.
Are you on the map there, Chapter Lane?
Yeah.
Chapter, like,
Yes, Claude Chapter Lane.
yeah,
Nick, he's on, yeah. This is from the NOI, he's on this one.
he's on this too, I think.
Yeah,
Behind me
it's
there,
right
it's
Yeah,
always,
right
it's
there.
always.
Yeah, that's you right there.
Okay.
Is that, yeah,
Yeah,
okay, yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you very much
Okay.
for being here and for your comments.
Mr. Chair, since he brought up accusations of the previous cases not being followed properly, may we ask Jesse to just check and see if that is a valid concern or not?
Yeah, if we,
Because
if I
those have
hadn't,
not been closed.
right, so we won't have final
I could
as-bills.
give you, we could tell you what. So,
I
some of the
would, I
work,
would like Jesse.
so some of the work did start on the lot before filing with the Conservation Commission happened. So then after a fact, filing did happen, and then at that time, they did include the second house. I do know that, so I did.
And were all the conditions,
They're still finishing up the property, so, but at least to this point, yeah,
was
they've been,
anything done that shouldn't have been done, sir?
not that I know of.
I would like to see
Yeah,
something that,
Jesse.
But when we're out walking the site, you can see what they've done so far.
sure,
You
but
can
what
see
I
the
would
work
also
that's been
need an as-built to compare that to,
Yeah, and
and
so
what was approved.
we'll
in the
provide you the
conditions.
as-built when we go for the order of the certificate of compliance.
Well, I would need to see the plan that was part of the approval
Yep, that's
to
fine.
make sure that that is
We can provide you that.
correct for what is in the field.
Why don't we just bring everything out and meet it together in the field, and then we can see what's what.
He just said that would be available when we do the certificate of compliance.
I know,
The
that's why I
as-built-
told
the
him I
as-built
need it
plan.
beforehand.
Yeah.
Not the final as-built, but I will need to see the site plan that was part of the
Yeah.
approval.
We can show
when
you
we're
the
out
design
on the
plan for
sidewalk.
that. That's easy enough.
Yeah, long before the CSC.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is, yeah, I mean, you never see an as-built before the COC, but it's like standard practice.
Yes.
But,
But
yeah,
if the
obviously,
house is
obviously there's a
constructed,
plan for
I
getting
need
it
to
through.
see
Yeah, yeah.
that this has been constructed the way that
Yeah,
you said it would be.
yeah, we should take a deep dive and look at everything out there.
So we
I would
will
love
look at
to.
that concern of yours, sir.
Okay.
About the previous ones, while looking at the current situation.
Well, what's there is there, and you're not gonna knock it down. I mean, I'm not asking you to do that, but,
Just-
it's
No,
not-
but if they're not following the plan as it was approved, then we can make requirements that changes be made because the final certificate of compliance has not been granted, which mean that this board does still have some authority.
And if they followed everything, that gives us added confidence for a vote to maybe do what they're saying they're gonna do.
if they did it all, hopefully the rest of it'll go. But understand that they built a house, which they had the right to do, because they knocked one down, and because it's in a floodplain, they had the legal authority to build the house. But then they built the second house, which they didn't have.
Until they came back in afterwards
Well,
to
the
get
house
the
is going up.
documentation.
Well, you-
Yeah.
And I asked, well,
I mean,
I'm
and
not
you know
asking
what?
you
I
to
know
knock
that
it
this-
down, but, they put up a house, and there was no restrictions or no penalties imposed or anything of any sort.
All right, well, I'm very much looking forward to looking into
Yeah.
this.
You know,
We
built a
just
house.
assured you that we're going to look into this, we're going to go to the site and evaluate everything, we're gonna pull all the paperwork, I promise you that. We can't sit here and comment on it when we haven't seen it.
Right,
We haven't
I
been out
understand
there. You know, that's.
But
that's
now
what we're
they're
trying
asking for a third house on that same piece of property that they didn't have any authority to
They're,
build
they're
a
allowed to
second.
submit an application and apply to build on the land that they own. And we will go out and evaluate it, you know, that's what we're here to do.
And we're protecting the wetland resource, not looking back at past grievances, really.
Okay, very good. Well, I said my piece.
And we'll look at.
You let me say my piece, that's all. That's all I can ask for.
And you're more than welcome to come to the subsequent hearings and say your
It's,
piece there as well, you know.
it's just that there
when
were
we're
other
going back and
people-
forth in circles, you know.
Other people
Just need to look at
behind
some.
it were very concerned, and they're not here now, and I'm saying, well, I guess they figure, well, they're just gonna push it through. And I don't want just push it through to really happen. If they're gonna allow this because they feel it's okay, I just wanna make sure that it's not gonna cause neither me nor other people, because there are other people that are impacted by this who aren't here.
Yes.
Yeah,
Sir, I
that's a
can assure
very,
you,
that's a
We
fair
understand.
concern.
with
Yeah.
this commission, I can't speak for any other board or commission in the city, but for this commission, nothing gets pushed through. We look at every single project, every single proposed project, and vote on it for its, based on its values or lack thereof.
Very
Nothing
good.
gets pushed through.
Very good.
Okay.
All right. Do we have any other questions or comments from the audience regarding this project?
I'd like to respond to a few of the things that he said.
Okay.
So I met with Nicholas
Excuse
Lind.
me,
Yep.
Name for the
Eric
record,
Lind,
please,
owner
and
of the
address.
property.
I'm sorry, say it again,
Eric Lind, owner of the property.
thank you.
Okay. So back when we started, I brought Nicholas Krimp on site to review what we were planning. And,
Back when what started? Nicholas did the site walk?
yeah, like 3 years ago, 2.5, 3
Okay,
years
but
ago.
you're saying once the construction of the second house started?
No, no.
Or-
Let me talk. No, just in the very beginning.
Before any
No
construction
obstruction.
started?
Taking down a few trees.
Okay,
Cleaning up the place, dumpster after dumpster after dumpster.
sure.
Okay, so I brought him on site, I roughed out some stakes of where the original first house was gonna go. And I said, this is what we're looking at, I'm just looking for your opinion on how you feel about the wetland and the grades and stuff like that. And he gave me the preliminary verbal, unfortunately, it's verbal, to only go so far with what I was doing, as far as
Sure.
distance.
Within 50 feet of the
Yeah,
wetland?
on his opinion.
Yes, if
Just
you're
his opinion. We
outside
had
our
no
jurisdiction.
Documentation,
then we
I
don't
just had
need any.
50 or
Nicholas's,
100?
here's what you can do.
100.
And it wasn't until, as we got going, that then I hired McCarty Engineering to come in and finish what we had started. So, and as far as building without a building permit, that's ridiculous.
It's impossible.
You
I
stood up and
understand.
said.
Okay, no.
Sir,
No.
this isn't a give and take,
Absolutely not the
this isn't a back and forth.
Okay.
You want to do that, go outside.
Yeah.
We're not doing a back and
So,
forth.
I understand his concerns, and I have no problem with you guys coming on site and walking the site, I'm happy to do that, and hopefully that'll take the concerns that he has and lessen that impact. And I do want to point out, if you just looked at the grading on the map, you can see that his property is quite high compared to the rest of the property.
Okay, noted. Thank you.
Fair enough.
Do we want to try to schedule a sidewalk now?
Yes.
I was
This
planning on, I
No,
know that
no.
Fridays are usually good for
You want to talk
most
about it
people.
later?
Yeah, no.
No, even
No,
then,
I was
even then, no.
planning
Guys,
on,
hold on.
we gotta get over to Pleasant
Okay.
Street at some point too, so we could try to do 2 on Friday if we have a few people that are available.
Okay.
And if anyone wants to see the sites, with me, like outside of, normal hours too, just let me know, and I'm always happy to go back and show people around. Yeah, you can always do that.
Do you want to try to schedule that now?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. What is your availability looking like?
You get somebody-
Either.
We'll get somebody to,
Okay. Let me pull up my calendar really quick. I don't think I have anything Friday afternoon. Yeah, I could do Friday afternoon. How does, I don't know, do you guys have a particular time that Friday afternoon would be good for you? Anytime from noon to 4?
Yeah, I've got a call at 2 o'clock Friday.
Okay.
Other than that, I'm pretty open afternoon time.
3:30?
3:30 would work.
3:30?
Yeah, you doing the other one too?
Oh,
Pleasant Street too? It's the same.
I mean, we could just push that off until the next Friday.
I think I could do 3:30.
I can do 3:30.
3:30 for Stagecoach?
Yeah.
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 Yep.
That work for you guys?
we'll get somebody.
Friday the
All right.
15th.
I'm gonna get Mary into there, I'll let her know right after I get out of here.
Okay. If it does need to be, if it needs to be rescheduled for another week, I understand it's short notice, it's only 3 days.
We'll- At least one of us from the office will be there. And
Yeah.
just trying to make sure that Mary, hopefully Mary can get there too.
Yeah. I do think if Mary's not available, then maybe we should try to reschedule, but we can work that out tomorrow, and I'll let you guys know what we come up with for certain.
I'm gonna be a maybe for Friday,
Yeah.
but I would, like to see some photos.
Yeah. We'll take photos,
You wanna
if you have a
speak?
different time you wanna go with too.
Mr. Lynn, you don't want to speak to me?
I'll
speak to you.
Yeah, so I'll shoot everyone home the table.
If you guys
Email
can
tomorrow, I'll try to
get beyond the
confirm
door,
time.
because we gotta keep that door open, so like go
Yeah,
downstairs.
downstairs.
Go downstairs or something, or outside in the parking lot, especially if it gets bloody.
Thanks.
Good advice.
Okay, so where did, we land for a situation like this, voting on a continuance? Because we opened it, we discussed it, do I need to entertain a motion to continue this hearing?
Want me to make a request for continuance too?
Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, good.
So I guess officially request that you continue to the next hearing.
Yeah, which would be May 26th.
So that we have a chance to do a site walk and also hopefully.
Hopefully get some
get
comments,
comments.
yeah.
And then hopefully at the site walk maybe
Now,
start
Yeah.
some more
we
conversation.
need the DEP number. How about if we do it till the next meeting after the DEP number and answers are?
Well, even if you put us on the 26th and.
Yeah, if we don't have the comments, then you can just shoot me an email.
I'll email Jesse and let him know.
Perfect.
Then just move it back.
Correct.
That's fine.
Yeah,
I
it's-
don't wanna worry.
Easy.
Yeah, well, I don't want to come either if there's no DEP comments, because I think that will hopefully either clarify or maybe muddy it.
Mhm.
I don't know.
Just don't wanna have the continuance committed.
No, I don't either. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like we talked about.
Yeah.
All right, I will
Keep it rolling.
entertain a motion to continue this hearing until May 26th or the date following the issuing of the DEP file number and any DEP comments.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you.
Seconded.
How do you vote? Nick?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
Jordan?
Hi.
Steph?
Aye.
And Chuck? Aye. Perfect, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, thank you for coming out.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too. You too, we'll see you around.
Yes.
Okay. Moving forward, regular meeting, we've got meeting minutes,
They're not done.
perfect.
My vacation was great.
That's good, happy to hear it, priorities.
Yeah, serious. They will be.
We're not
they'll be
saving
done.
lives here.
We'll get back on track at the next meeting.
Perfect.
It'll be done.
Next item, any commissioner comments?
Oh, yeah, one thing.
Mhm.
What, we've got a wildflower visit
Yes.
coming up. Also, Jesse and I are working on arranging a first walk-through at the Pierce Street property with Jeff Hardinger of New England Mountain Bike Association. And we're glad to hear there was a positive response from this commission.
I am thrilled about this project.
Yeah.
You know, we said nothing gets pushed through, but I'll push this through.
That was great. So,
Yeah.
we need their commitment to maintain the trails.
Yeah, yeah, if they
They
wanted
can do it.
free reign as far
So
as.
we're gonna go look at it sometime maybe later this week.
Yeah, I can't, I think it was next week. I think it was
Oh,
like
there's
Monday
a
through
weekend, right?
Thursday next week or something.
Yeah,
I
they said
said,
Monday,
yeah,
Thursday, okay.
yeah, but yeah, I'll nail down time, that'll be good.
Great,
Right.
well, that was it for me.
And Nick, if you could maybe toss out a couple, you're Nick, you're not you're
Not
Nick.
me, you mean
Your
Jesus.
neck?
Yes, I'm sorry, I've done.
It's okay.
I've done it before, and I'll do it again, I
Yeah,
apologize.
no, don't worry.
If you could try to schedule a site visit for Pleasant Street as well?
Yes,
You can do it
I
right now.
will. I'll be in touch tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, I'll just wait until tomorrow. I do think that if Mary Ann DePinto isn't available this Friday, then we should,
Switch it.
yeah, then we should reschedule that site.
So we'll have one Friday, 3:30 somewhere. One of these
I'm sure
two
Chris,
spots.
yeah, I'm sure Chris would be available for that. Yeah, yeah, so if she isn't available, then we'll just do Pleasant Street at that time.
Exactly.
Good thinking,
Yeah.
good thinking.
Jesse, you
Like
recorded
the
these
system.
votes at 4-0?
5,
Good.
yeah.
I thought I heard you say 4-0.
I might have.
On an early one.
Yeah, yeah.
Make sure.
All
Yeah,
right.
chair counts.
Okay.
No, I appreciate it, Chair.
Final notes here, our next meetings are scheduled for May 26, 2026, and June 9th. Wow, already, 2026. And with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
How do you vote on that? Nick? Aye. Jordan?
Aye.
Rich?
Aye.
Chuck?
Aye.
And Steph?
Aye.
All right, thank you, everyone.